Number 20. 2x squared minus 8x minus 7 equals 0. One solution to the given equation can be written as 8 minus the square root of x over 4, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? This is forcing you to use the quadratic formula, which is that x is equal to negative b plus or minus, that negative there in front of that b looks wonky, move it up, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. And this right here is sort of the big, it's 8 minus square root of k over 4. You see the similarity. We have a constant plus or minus a square root over a number. That should be a big red flag right there, a little waving, use the quadratic formula. That's what they want you to do. So let's plug these numbers in. The a, b, and c in the quadratic formula come from, if we have a quadratic that is set equal to 0, a is the coefficient or term, the integer, fraction, whatever it may be, that's next to the x squared, the constant. B is the constant that is next to x, if there is an x. And c is the constant that is by itself, if there is a constant by itself. Not always, but usually when we're talking quadratic formula, you will have ax squared and a bx and a c. Just because the ones without the bx and the c, you know, there's other ways you can solve them. So, all right, so we have 2x squared minus 8x minus 7. So 2 is my a, negative 8, make sure that negative comes with me, is my b, and negative 7 is my c. So this negative right here in front of the b means the opposite of b. So my b in this case is negative 8, so the opposite of that would be positive 8, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, so negative 8, there's my b squared, minus 4 times my a is 2, and my c is negative 7, and that's going to be all over 2a, or 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, so the 8 and the 4 are already there, so I know I'm not going to have to simplify anything with this square root. If this was something else, if this ended up being 4 and 2, something like that, or it was just, 2 minus square root, then my mind is immediately thinking, okay, whatever shows up under this square root, I'm going to have to simplify it. I'm going to have to pull something out and then, find a greatest common factor. That happens a lot with the quadratic formula. But here, because the 8 and the 4 are in the answer they're given, and I have the 8 and 4 there, don't have to worry about that. I can just do what's the math that's under the square root, and I know I've got my correct answer for the value of k, which is nice. So let's do that math. Negative 8 squared is 64. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. So it's 64 minus a negative 56. So that's the same as plus a positive. And when we add those together, we get 120. So when I said earlier that I don't have to simplify this, does that mean I couldn't simplify the square root of 120? That is not what it means. You can simplify the square root of 120. You could make this a more simple answer, but you do not have to, because that's not what they're asking for. And if you did, you would get it wrong because they're saying that it can be written as 8 minus the square root of a number over 4. So if you simplify this and simplify it down and go, that's what's left on the square root, you're going to get it wrong and you'll have done extra work. So that's a double whammy. Always make sure we read it carefully. They don't want us to simplify it. They just want to know that when there's an 8 and a 4, what number is under the square root. That's 120. So 120 is my answer. Hey guys, the full insanely comprehensive SAT math prep course I've been promising for so long is live right now at mathwithalyssa.com. And of course, you can also still get the free 10 video course on SAT tips and tricks at mathwithalyssa.com as well. You also can now book one-on-one tutoring sessions with me. Links to how you can do that are in the description and the pinned comment below. And as always, if the video you just watched was helpful or useful in any way, please let YouTube know. Comment, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.